Hello people, Mr. B here. I haven't done a Your Shout for a little while, primarily because every time I go to do one, everybody beats me to it on social media, and I'd only be regurgitating the same old. I think we're all of the same mindset, so I don't think I'd actually be saying anything fresh and different to the way most people are feeling at the moment, particularly with regard to Moyes' setup and his negative displays that he's getting the team to play. He's a dinosaur. I affectionately call him the Moisasaurus because other than him, I think that breed is pretty much extinct. And obviously we've got his old Mucker Allardyce and people like that. But you know, certainly in the East End of London, the Moisasaurus needs to die out basically, and we need to get a new fresh model in. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think we've got him for a couple of years. So we've got highly defensive, boring, rubbish football to look forward to, or not even look forward to for the next couple of years. It's not going to get better, and I can't see the board getting rid of him when he's now talking. You know, there's stuff being mooted about him like having the final say on transfers and all that. That to me seems like it's a done deal that he's staying put, unless we do slip through the trapdoor, and that is still a possibility. I'd like to hope we can get something out of the next few games, and we don't. But I think we might just stay in by the skin of our teeth, but it could come right down to the wire, and we're stuck with him. And the polls, you know, saying I don't know, 80-90% of people want him gone. We can't all be wrong, can we? But again, the three wise monkeys that sit in their little ivory balcony, they won't do something. They're going to stick with a safe option. There won't be a director of football coming, despite Brady saying there would be, and now she didn't say that, but she did say that, and we're just going to be left with the same setup as we've got this season, and it's crap, and they won't put their hands in their pockets, will they? So anyway, get back to it. This Your Shout is really more to do with the season drawing to an end, and obviously we're now starting to look forward to the summer in terms of who's going to come in and who's going to go out. Probably for a West Ham supporter, actually, I'd say it's probably the most exciting time of the year is sort of June to end of August and January, because during the year the football is absolutely shite, but at least the transfers are something to get interested in and look forward to. So be interesting to see who comes in and who goes. So this is my little take on it. If I was the director of football, which obviously is never ever going to happen, but there would be a few ins and a few outs. There'd be quite a big turnover of staff, and I think that will happen anyway, of the playing staff, because there does need to be some drastic changes. I think if we're just looking through, I'm only sort of staring next. I've got my list here. Obviously, Hart will be gone. They won't retain him. I think if it was me, there's a few sort of big names I'll be cashing in on. But so Hart will be out. Oxford, I think he'll be gone. Hopefully we can pick up, I don't know, nice to think we can pick up 15, 20 million for him maybe. Certainly 10 to 15 if the bottom end of it. I think Snodgrass, hopefully he'll go to Villa. They'll make that permanent. If we get 5 million for him, would be not too bad. I think Dominguez Kina, I can see him going purely because he's not getting game time. I think if he was going to be the new wonder kid, he would probably be bloodied and been given some more sort of opportunities even on the bench, and he's not being given those. So obviously it's probably the fact he's too attacking for Moyes, and Moyes doesn't like people with flair, so that's basically ruled him out. But he's also got a very, very manipulative agent, and I think the agent will swing a move to him. Apparently there are European clubs after him, so I'm sure he'll be gone. Don't know how much we get for him, but say 10 mil or something a little bit less than that maybe. Then on to some of the other ones. I think Andy Carroll, he's got a year left on his contract. He's going to spend most of the next season on the treatment table, so let's get rid now, let's cash in. Again, if we could get 10 million for him, happy days. Get 10 quid for him, actually, I'll take that, because, okay, he saved our bacon the other day. But what does he bring to the party? Not a lot when he's spending most of his time with his feet up. Not what we need. On to a couple of more controversial ones. I would get rid of Lanzini. I think as a team, I think we need people to influence games just about every game. Okay, everybody has a bad game, but you need people that are influential in their relevant position, and he isn't. If you look back at this season, you look back at last season, what has he done? How has he really influenced games? He floats around. He's not a wonderfully creative player like in the sort of the Hazard or Mata mould or Silva mould. He's not creating chances for people particularly. Okay, one good game with an Arnautovic, but kind of that's it. And his goal scoring record isn't great. He just doesn't bring, for me, he doesn't bring enough to the party. So if we could get, say, 40 million or something like that for him, because the Argentinian international must be worth a few bob, I would cash in on him now. So he would be gone. The other one, bit controversial, this because I know he's got a lot of people that like him. I personally don't. Arthur Masuaku. He had one really, really good game when he first broke into the team, early part of the season. Thereafter, I thought he was absolutely crap. Yeah, he came back after his gobbing ban. Had a pretty good game against Southampton. Whipped a lovely ball in for Arnautovic's third goal, I think it was, and has done nothing else since. He's very, very tricky in as much he's a clever ball player, but very rarely can he actually skin a poke and get past and whip a ball in. He does all the fancy footwork, but there's very, very little end product. He can't defend. He doesn't track back that well. If you actually watch him closely, he'll take a ball, he'll cut a little fancy little step overs and puts his foot on the ball in little drag backs, and then he just knocks it off sideways or backwards. He's not a threatening player. And while his stock and his value is high, I would excuse me, I would get rid. The other one, absolute no-brainer for me, Czech Kouyaté, rubbish. It's not the Kouyaté of a couple of years ago. Still got a decent value. Get rid. Get somebody in that engine room who actually can do something with the ball. Not amble around, with his little bandage on his arm and that, looking lost. He just doesn't. He doesn't do it for me anymore. I thought he was going to be a player when we first got him in a mould sort of Vieira, and a real rod of steel in the centre of midfield, and he's not. He's as I say, he's just like a Keith Lemon wannabe, but he ain't funny and he ain't a good footballer. So he can be gone. And obviously Chicharito, I think he'll go. I can see him probably go to MLS, to be honest. But there's no way he's going to stay under Moyes. There's something going on there. Moyes just won't use him. Obviously a lot of people have said it. Have been crying out for a striker. Fox in the box, somebody who can actually finish for donkey's years. We get him, and he sits there warming his arse on the bench. So I don't blame him. Fair play to him. If he can go off and he can get game time and finish his career somewhere else, then good luck to him. So with that lot gone, I would hope that we could probably nail something in the middle, in the region of about 150 mil, if we could get rid of all that lot for decent money. And again, those figures I've only sort of guessed roundish sort of figures, but 40 mil for Lanzini, for example. If you get 20 for 25 for Kouyaté, you're talking over £100 million in income, certainly. So who do we get in? So going one by one. I know there's also some talk as well of going into the Championship and getting the teams that have just been relegated and poaching some of their players that have got Premier League experience. So for me, there probably wouldn't be too many, because they're in the Championship for a reason, because they've been crap this season. But there are one or two exceptions. If we start at the back, the goalkeeper wise, I think everybody or anybody with a brain would want Jack Buckland. But Buckland is an asset, and he's going to command a serious amount of money. And obviously we've got men with very, very short arms, very deep pockets that just can't quite reach the wallet, and they will not go and get Buckland. I would be amazed. He would be an absolute asset to us. but it ain't going to happen. I just can't see it. But I have an alternative, and it's a keeper I've really rated for a long time. Experienced, and if you want somebody stable, who's a solid pair of hands at the back, doesn't rip up trees, but he doesn't make many blunders, and that's Ben Foster. So I would personally, you get him cheap. I don't know. I'd guess you probably get him sort of 5 to 7 million, maybe something like that. I would be looking at Ben Foster. Solid pair of hands there. Good competition for Adrian, and he won't let it down, and he's the right price. So I'd like to see that one. If he's going to stick with his back three, Rice and Ogbonna are absolutely nail-ons. Rice is just superb. I mean, I know a lot of people have said he's like a young Bobby Moore, and you do see that as well. And for the older guys, they can remember it, or if not, have a look at some footage of a German footballer called Franz Beckenbauer. Rice is very much in that mould. He is going to be a top player, and we're going to do really well to keep hold of him, because I think that the seriously big clubs are going to be in for him. And I'm not just talking your Liverpool's, Man City's, I'm talking your Barcelona's, Real Madrid's, people like that, because he is going to be in that kind of mould. He is quality. I would take him. I'd keep him, obviously, along with Ogbonna. Now, if it was me, that third centre half that we've got in there, I would be looking to spend some money, but again, it's not going to happen. I'd be looking to go to Bournemouth and pick up Nathan Ake, who is, again, I really rate that boy. He's young. We want some young blood in there. He's composed on the ball. He reads the game well. Again, absolute quality player. And a back three of Rice, Ogbonna and Ake, I think would be superb. They won't spend the money on him. I don't know what he commands, but again, you're probably talking 25 million, something like that. But I think, if anything, they'll probably try and get a knockdown price for Johnny Evans, and he'll be your third centre half potentially. Then, if you look on the wings, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get a full season out of Zabaleta, but I think this Ryan Fredericks guy from Fulham is close from what you hear. I don't know how true that is or not, but again, highly rated, young, quite energetic bloke who's going to get up and down, and that's what we've lacked this season, is people to actually move and get up and down those flanks. So I think he'd fit the bill quite well. Good competition for Byram. I wouldn't get rid of Byram, but maybe just needs to stint away from a little while. But I think Fredericks in there, and use Zabaleta potentially as an infill for the centre halves, or even centre mid, something like that, where he hasn't got to run around a lot, because the poor old boy, he's nearly as old as me, so that's saying something. On the other side, with Masuaku gone, again, I'd look to spend some money if it was me, but it's not, and they won't. But I would personally be going to Man United and knocking on Mourinho's door and seeing how much he wants for Luke Shaw. Again, relatively young, and he wants to prove himself. He wants football, and he's a good player. You don't join Man United if you're crap. So he's definitely one that I would like to see, and using Creswell as a backup. But he's got that energy. He can get up and down, and again, he can put a really nice ball in. Looking at centre mid, I'd keep Noble. Obviously, he's proven this year. He's got another year left in those legs of his. He's turning into a bit of a Pirlo. He's playing probably the better football, or some of the best football I've seen him play for the last few seasons. Actually, the last few games, he's I think he's been doing really well. I'd keep Obiang as well. Again, you hear bits and pieces about potentially going in for Drinkwater, who's a good player. No two ways about it. But if it was me, and I know it won't happen, because already our little mate Sullivan's been out and sort of said, he thinks he's useless. But I don't. I would personally go for Shelby. He can create. He's not afraid to put his foot in and tackle. Okay, can be a bit hot-headed, but we like a maverick character, and I think he would fit in so well. And he reads a game, he can ping a pass like nobody's business. He's really good. So I personally would look to pick up Shelby if we can. Shelby and Drinkwater, happy days. Obviously Mario will be gone, and I don't think he'll be returning, because they won't spend the money. Obviously Arnie, he's going to spearhead an attack next year. Hopefully nobody comes in and buys him. I'd also keep Antonio. He's had a rubbish year this year. I think most of it, all right, injury-wise, but I think there's something a bit, psychological going on there. But hopefully he straightens himself out, and let's see what he can do next season. If he doesn't cut it, he goes. But we were in love with a bloke last year, and he was Hammer of the Year or whatever it was. Let's give him a chance to prove what he was like and get back to the old Antonio that was pushing for an England spot, because I'd like to see that happen. He's a good lad, and using Fernandes as a sort of an understudy for him. I'd love us to go and buy Maddison, but again, the ball don't seem to rate him. But yeah, a lot of other clubs like your Arsenals and people like that do, and you can just bet your bottom dollar he'll go to Tottenham and he'll prove to be another stunning England international. Again, he's got that little bit of flair and creativity which probably Lanzini hasn't got, to be honest. And he just needs a platform on a big stage to prove himself, and I think West Ham could be good for him. But again, I don't think it'll happen. We do need somebody else in there, so maybe looking at somebody like Tadic of Southampton. If they go down and they can get him for about £2.50, that might be an option. The other one, if Carroll does go and with Chikorita going, Hugill's not going to cut it. He's probably bought as I've seen it said that he's been bought as a safety net if we go down to the Championship. I'd put him back in the Championship on loan. But again, if he was rated enough, he would be playing now. So that's not going to happen. So again, I'll probably be back down to Bournemouth and see if he could pick up Josh King. Again, relatively young guy, but he's kind of that big lump mould that Moyes seems to like. But he's good with the ball at his feet, and he can hit the back of the net. He's again, I quite rate him. I think in a good team, he could flourish. So who else we got? I mean, Byron I put out on loan. I'd keep Holland, because I think hopefully next year Holland's going to be the next one to break into the team and show us what he's all about. So we've got that little element of creativity. But I mean, if you can get them, I think if you had a team starting off next season of Foster in goal with Rice, Ogbonna, and I'd love Ake, but if not, Rice, Ogbonna and Evans. With Fredericks and Shaw potentially as wing backs, Noble Obiang and potentially Shelvey in midfield, and then Arnautovic up front with Maddison sitting in behind him. That would be pretty damn good. I think I've actually missed one there, probably an Antonio as well on the other side. We've got Antonio on the other side, so that's your starting 11. And you've kept the spine of the team, i.e. sort of Ogbonna, Noble, Arnie, the same. You're bringing in a lot of young guys, so we've got some youth coming in, and you've still got some experience. So we should know that'll happen, but we shall see. I'm looking forward to the summer though, just to get this season finished. Cheerio.